Today I'm sharing how we staged our home. We had a unique situation happen where our home sold before it went to market. And I'll link that video in the description. It's a really cool story. But I was left with rooms that were like 80% finished, a few that we never even started staging. So I wanted to go through at least the ones that I had began. I finished them, I took some photos. And then I'm also walking through doing this video as we were preparing for our moving sale, so bear with the mess. But you can get the idea. I wanted to share because I did this on a budget. I did it by myself. I know you can relate when you're trying to balance all the things. We're selling everything, so everything ultimately had to go. I didn't want to buy things that then I would be stuck with. And I didn't want to have a bunch of stuff that was just garbage either. And so today I'm sharing the main level of the house and how we redid that. And then our next video will be the basement and the cottage that's on our property and how I staged those. So let's get started. So here we are looking at the backdrop that I normally have for my videos. This artwork I did custom. The armoire was one that my mom had done years ago, and I just love it. I really enjoyed all the plants. I think they bring so much life to a room. And so it was fun to have this little area of the living area that just had some plants, the armoire. This painting was inspired by this area of our yard with this row of pine trees and this really cute birdhouse. And so I really wanted to incorporate that into the house. So I made that painting a few weeks ago, and it fit the space perfectly. So you'll notice behind me now is a little different when you see my face again on this video. So from that area then, we had the living room. And in here, the main thing was just drastically simplifying everything. I borrowed a couple of pillows, cleaned everything up. I had gone through and painted this whole room a really nice neutral color, a lightish tannish gray color, and I really liked that. I love the rug. It has a very earthy feel with the leather sofa, the leather chair, calming artwork. Almost everything is off the wall other than a large mirror and the artwork you saw before that I had done from the trees. So in here, it was very simple and really calming neutral colors. From my work area, when you look towards the other half of the room, my husband had made this sofa table, which I just love, out of live edge wood from our property. And so it took the plants and it took the sofa colors, the color of the TV cabinet and everything, and it really combined it all into this really calming nature-filled living room, which really matches the energy of the property. This house is in the woods. It's 50 plus years old. It's just this great cabin-type, quaint A-frame home. So here I had taken off this fun bird artwork, really neutralized the front door, even though I loved it. That had to go. I replaced one of the stair treads, and then I painted them all to match. You can see our staging mess here. And then this artwork, I had so much fun. I personally loved the bold sky through the trees artwork on there. But I wanted something that was calming, something that tied the neutral cabinet color in with the other colors of the leather and the nature, just really creating this oasis in the woods feeling that we feel out here. So I needed to use every piece of artwork I could to really portray that to a potential buyer. So I had so much fun doing this painting. Not my normal style, but it turned out really cute. From that painting then, it leads to the master bedroom. And first I'll start off with the master bathroom here. We had converted this space a few years back. It used to be like a 4-season porch. The gold frames on that rose artwork on the back wall, I loved, and it had gold lighting fixtures and different things. So I painted the shower to match that gold to really bring that all together. The handles on the doors are gold and simplify it down to this black and white gold with plants and greenery. Here I am sanding and then priming that metal, just meticulously going over it with good metal primer and then touching it up with gold enamel. And so that was just such a fun difference. The silver was okay, but the gold just elevated the whole look. And I love this bathroom so much. My husband had made this live edge slab countertop, and he had made the base of the cabinet years before. So we've pulled it all together, and it just, again, brings that nature inside the house into the master bath. For our master bedroom, it was again about simplifying. We had these built-in floating shelves on either side of the beds, which I love. They have live edges on them. It matches the countertops in the bathroom. And then we tied that in with touches of black. The headboard was some repurposed old wood that's attached to the wall. It really anchors the space. The foot of the bed features this great cabinet chest type thing. And then that ties into the black on the fireplace. Inside that fireplace is all of the controls for the in-floor heating. And so that was a fun way to kind of camouflage that and still make it feel like it all fits together. Above the fireplace then, I went with really neutral, calming artwork. I want this to feel just like a Zen master suite. You can imagine yourself just in this super big king-size bed, cozy, just calm. Life is relaxed out here, and life is good. Above the fireplace, that art, and then I just love this little planter of this almost like meditating female head. I just think it's so cute. And so that's where we went with this main part of the house, this master suite. I had a while ago painted these doors back to this neutral cabinet color that matches the cabinets in the kitchen. They used to be this really bold, layered, weathered look that I personally loved, but I know as an artist my taste is a little bit bolder than the potential buyers. And so I chose to paint over all of them with this neutral sage green. And I actually have loved it. It's added to the calmness. That room really does feel like you step in there and it's this spa-like feeling, which is no lie. So it just felt really good to finally capture it all clean and organized. Another hack we did in there is instead of buying a giant rug to fit under the king-size bed, we used 2 runners. So each side has a runner going down the side, and then it tucks under the trunk cabinet thing at the end of the bed. And so it really gives this illusion of this giant rug that grounds the space without having to have spent more than $50 on rugs. So that's been a really great hack that we did years ago. And then again, just having plants in every one of the rooms, not going overboard, but it really does bring life into the room, this calming aspect, and it connects people with the outdoors, which is why so many of the people that would want to live at least in this property would choose this house. Here's an overall view that we took that just shows the property. You can see Minnesota in the distance. The red mulch really just makes the plants pop. It contrasts the green of the house. Again, not everything was completed, but you can really get the idea of it all. And I love this photo. It just shows the overall feel from this side of the house that we don't see as often. Normally the better view is coming up the driveway, which is really great, but this is a fun view because you get to see the distance. the river valley. I invite you to follow along on this channel. It's all about midlife pivots and having these big dreams. Mine happens to be that we're selling everything and moving abroad, and we're going to explore. I want to see art history throughout the world, witness other cultures and see people and learn. But yours may be something different. I really believe they share many of the same foundations, and it's all about giving ourselves permission to dream big and then meeting that with the realist side, the hard work, the goals, what does it actually look like to put steps in place to make those dreams happen. So that's what this channel is all about. I would love for you to join me. I'm going to continue posting up until we leave and then continue posting after we are exploring. I'll share bits of that as well as just relating it back to us in midlife and how we can use these life lessons and different times of life and tune in and make big things happen.